PHL17 presents InFocus, a look at the issues affecting the Philadelphia region. Now your host, Steve Highsmith.
There's a place in South Jersey that each year provides a safe, loving, temporary home for hundreds and hundreds of families who have a child in need of serious medical care. Good morning, I'm Steve Highsmith and welcome to InFocus. If you want to get a fundamental sense of what the Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey is all about, meet a little girl named Avery. Avery is what Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey is all about, healing. And the house is celebrating its 30th anniversary. The house began operating in 1983 and is one of 284 Ronald McDonald houses throughout the world. It's in the heart of Camden and serves over 800 families a year. The Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey provides private bedrooms, daily meals, laundry facilities, and a safe, tranquil, and understanding setting. There are even activities for the kids, and for all of this, there is little or no charge. With me now are Teddy Thomas, President, and Lauren White, Director of Development of Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. And what work you do every day. So, Teddy, it is all about healing.
It is. I'd say there are three things: healing, hope, and happiness. Every parent hopes that their child will find healing from the doctors they've brought them to see. And the other side of that is, while they're there, if we can provide a little happiness in their life while they're going through all of this medical care, make them smile, make them have a better day after coming back from the hospital, then that only furthers that healing.
Well, who is served? Who are the families that come?
Oh, the families are anyone with a critical illness or injury who lives further away than can easily drive home at night. So we set a perimeter of 25 miles away in general, although there can be exceptions to that based on exceptional critical need. But if you're more than 25 miles away and it might take you more than an hour to get home every night and you need to be back every morning, and your child may be sick from the treatment they're getting during the day, or if they're left in the hospital and you would have to drive home very late at night. So those are sort of parameters but not definitive guidelines.
So Lauren, many of these are outpatient cases? In other words, they're not necessarily that the child has to be in the hospital all the time?
Yeah, good question. Actually, when our Ronald McDonald House began, most parents were visiting their child by their bedside, so they were using the house to shower, sleep a few hours, and go back. Today, with the advances in modern medicine, 75% of the time the children reside at the house while they're receiving treatment.
And Teddy said something interesting. It's not just for children who may have an illness, but may have an injury. So in other words, it's something that may be caused by an accident or a fall? Exactly.
We see trauma patients, we see orthopedic patients, we see kids with all different types of injuries, physical disabilities, keeping them from, being able to just be a kid.
Well, Teddy, there are other Ronald McDonald houses. How is it worked out which house you can go to?
Generally, you would go to the house that is closest to the hospital that is providing the medical care. But in this region, we do have a number of houses. There are two in Philadelphia, one by Children's Hospital and one by St. Christopher's. There's one down in Wilmington by DuPont, and then we're in Camden next to Cooper. But we all communicate every day, because if one house has an open room and the others are filled, we want to be sure we're taking care of as many families as possible, so families can stay at any of the houses.
Well, as we take a look at some images of some of the kids and families at Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey, what do they experience, Teddy? What goes on day to day?
Well, they usually wake up, grab a quick breakfast, and head off to the hospital. And whether that's for chemotherapy, whether it's for physical therapy, whether it's for surgery, surgery stays in the hospital are getting shorter and shorter now. And so they head out for the day for their treatment. And then they come back around dinner time usually. And that's 75%. And even if the child is in the hospital, the parents will stay sometimes until they fall asleep at night. Sometimes they will also come back to dinner and hanging out with other parents to share their stories and gain the strength and rest they need to do it again tomorrow.
Lauren, everybody looks so happy. Do you ever get a situation where you say, okay, you're well, you can go home now?
Sure, we love that. In fact, I think the reason the house exists is truly for hope and healing, like Teddy had said, but it is also to provide something other than four hospital walls for these kids who are going through extremely stressful times in their lives. They come back to the house, they feel like they can be a kid and they don't have to think about their illness and they can hang out with their friends.
You have activities for the kids, or is it just the hanging out, which is valuable in itself, but do you have other things too?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we have groups outside of the house that volunteer their time, like Girl Scout troops or businesses that come and provide activities after meals at dinner time. So it could be anything from ice cream Sunday night to decorating pumpkins, because it's coming, Halloween's coming up, to just playing board games with the kids. It's, you know, finding the time and making that time for the kids to have fun.
Teddy, how did you hit on this formula? I mean, is it something that just sort of naturally happened? Did it happen instantly, or are you pretty much, you know what works and you just keep pushing a lot of same buttons?
For things like activities and adding more program, part of it the families inspire. They can come back and say, we really wish we could do the following. And we say, well, let's see if we can add that. And so some of the things we've added over time are asking businesses or people who have tickets to things, whether it's a sports event or a concert or a theater performance. If you're not going to use them and you got them, then somebody at the house would definitely love that opportunity to go. But then also we've had a lot of families that fly in and weren't able to rent a car for the length of time that they would be here. So we started, we had a car donated and we have volunteer drivers, so that rather than having to take a taxi or public transportation, we can drive them to the hospital back and forth every day, get them to a pharmacy for a prescription, out to Walmart because they need more of something. So we try to cover the transportation, the entertainment, and then we have wonderful community groups who come in every single night and make dinner for our families. So whether you're a family cooking for our families, or whether you're a company or a scout troop or a hockey team, or whatever, anyone can sign up to come in and do what we call family meals. So they bring all the food and they come and cook.
Is it the same number of meals every night, or is there an ebb and flow to this thing? I mean, how do you know, for example, if you're a community group that you're making 10 meals or 40 meals, or what do you mean?
Well, you're making a 40 to 50 every night, but we do try to let you know if there's any ebb and flow. As a holiday might approach and some more might be able to go home for a few days and then return, we would let you know that maybe it's only 35 tonight. Also, we try to let them know if there are particular food needs or ethnic groups. If we have a large Spanish population, they of course like different foods. So if someone's coming and wants to do something more Spanish or Hispanic friendly, or if we have you know, any of the holidays, a Jewish holiday, and we have families, or if we have Arabic families with us, we try to always be sure of providing vegetarian meals.
And all of this, and you've outlined so much, costs money. And one of the ways that you raise money is through the ball that you have every year. Now you've got a 30th anniversary, Paul, and this is Saturday, October 12th at the Borgata in Atlantic City, and you can find all about it and how you can take part at ronaldhouse-snj.org. That's ronaldhouse-snj.org. Are you excited about the ball?
Very. We only do our gala every 5 years, so it's not something we have to worry about on every year basis. So with only 5 years, you try to make it more exciting each time it comes along.
So with the annual fundraising events that you have, though, the big ball is only every 5 years. So 20, 25, 30, you've been doing that. Yeah. So a lot of work then. You've had, you know, several years to prepare for this, Lauren.
Yes.
It better be
We'd
good.
like to say it better be fabulous. Yes, we're really excited. We have so many local corporations and donors coming to support the house. We expect 650 to 750 guests. We'll have a live theater company from New York City that comes down to put on a show, and music and dancing, and it's actually going to be a 1920s theme. So you can...
Was it pearls and...
Pearls and pinstripes, yeah. So you can put on any vintage attire you might want to, from your flapper dress to just your strand of pearls.
Which
and
we
come
all
and
have
celebrate.
hanging in the closet.
Exactly.
Well, so is this something anybody can attend?
Absolutely. We encourage the community to come out and support us. As we only do it every 5 years, the funds raised for this event are really crucial to continuing to advance and expand the mission. So we encourage everyone that is out there to come for a great night of entertaining.
So walk me through this a little bit more. So roughly what time should someone get there that evening?
Well, they arrive at 7 p.m. and dinner and dancing begin at 8. And the evening ends at 11, so it's 4 hours of fun and
all that entertainment that you laid out in between there.
Exactly, and we'll have a really cool silent auction this year that we're using online through your smartphone. You can bid on your auction items.
Those are pretty neat.
Yes, so a trip to Miami or the Caribbean will be on there, and you can just use your iPhone and...
While you're sitting at your table, or
exactly.
just talking with friends, just keep up in the bid.
Exactly, exactly.
You actually get a text alert if you're outbid on an item. If you've bid on item 41 and someone outbid you, you get a text alert on your phone telling you you've been outbid. Or you can simply tell your phone to bid for you incrementally up to a maximum number.
And you know what's great about that system is that whenever the silent auction item or the entire auction is closed or that area is closed, it closes at a given time, and there's no arguing over, well, I was there, I was standing there, I was ready to do this.
Exactly.
Electronically, the time is the time, and how you've entered it either got through in time or it didn't.
Exactly.
That's pretty good.
The other fun thing, since you will have people in attendance who know each other, they'll never know who they're bidding against because the names are not on a piece of paper there where I know I'm bidding against Steve. So maybe I drop out, or maybe I keep trying to outbid you, but because you're bidding on your phone, you don't actually know who else is bidding. So that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, could be.
And you don't have to go back to the table. You know, if you're enjoying your dinner companions or if you're dancing, you don't have to go back to the auction to look and see how you're doing.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful evening planned at the workout on the 12th. More on the workings and promises of the Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey ahead on InFocus on PHL17. Stay tuned. Back on InFocus, I'm Steve Highsmith. Families find a place of comfort and support, even fun in tough times, at the Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey in Camden, and the house is marking its 30th anniversary. With me are Teddy Thomas, President, Lauren White, Director of Development at Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, so the parents come, and they can come from pretty much all around the world, but you try to have, farther out than 25 miles. And it depends in part on the hospitals they go to. Teddy, what hospitals work most closely with your house?
Well, we are next door to Cooper Hospital, Cooper University Hospital in Camden. And from them we have everyone from a trauma case down to a premature baby and all the illnesses in between. But even those traumas or premature babies could have come from anywhere because they might be vacationing at the Jersey Shore or driving through on the turnpike and be involved in an accident or go into labor. So the distance away or the state they're from can be anywhere. But then we also have children from Wills Eye Hospital in Philadelphia, children with retinoblastoma, eye tumors, and from Shriners Hospital for Children, also in Philadelphia. It's an all orthopedic hospital, so children who are born with serious birth defects that are orthopedic. And then from Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, we also have children primarily in the fetal surgery program, where the baby actually has surgery before it's born. So these families are finding that program usually online and inquiring and being accepted and coming from all over the country.
Well, Lauren, as we said a few minutes ago, that more and more this is an outpatient thing where the child is treated during the day, but the parents and the child will reside at the house for as long as that stay is. Is there a typical length of stay?
It really depends based on the patient, the child's illness, we have families that maybe come for the night for follow-up procedures, and then we have families that could be here for a year. Avery, as you saw earlier, was coming to the house, in the beginning for a condition called arthrogryposis. It affects the muscles and the tendons. It affected her lower legs, and she was going to Shriners Hospital for Children, having some surgeries and procedures to, help her legs straighten out. And then when she was 5 years old, her mom discovered a rare cancer, and it was called rhabdomyosarcoma. And Avery had, unfortunately, caught it late. And so it was stage 4B. And when they were all the way out in Michigan, they said, we have to come out to Children's Hospital Philadelphia. And so their stay when they came out for chemo treatment was a lot longer. It was over 9 months. And her survival rate went from under 20% to over 75%.
Wow.
And she's over a year cancer-free, as you could see earlier. So it really just depends on the medical needs of the child.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
But you talk to, and you're geared to help the child and all the children there be as happy as they can be, given what they're going through. And the parents, you're alleviating a lot of the stress that they have that would be caused by travel. But are there other ways in which you see that Ronald McDonald House is actually helping parents cope with stress?
Absolutely. I think that, to me, the parents are truly the inspiration. The children are the inspiration. They're the reason why the house exists. Without the families and the stories, there would be no house and the need. So for them to all get together and have a communal living where they come down for breakfast, and instead of sitting by themselves in their hotel room or, sitting in their hospital chair, trying to grab a quick meal while their child's sleeping, they're able to talk and share stories and hear about conditions that they never heard about and realize that they're not alone. So it's really a great way to cope and, adjust to the stress that they're going through.
Teddy, what are these rooms like?
Oh, we are a little bit unusual. Rather than in many houses, all the rooms look alike, more like in a hotel where every bedroom would look alike. We chose to have each bedroom adopted and decorated by a different community group. So we have SpongeBob and Elmo, but we have Harley Davidson and NASCAR, and we have Phillies and Flyers, and we have Disney princesses and Harry Potter. So the children run around looking at each other's room and deciding where they want to stay next time they come. It's pretty exciting for them, for our many children who come often, such as Avery. But it adds more of that family atmosphere. We like to say that the house is the world's best informal support group. Because there's no formal counseling, but they're all there together, gaining strength and hope and sharing their stories.
And typically, how many people could fit comfortably and stay in a room without yelling and screaming at each other and running out?
Well, it's usually 4 to 6 in a family.
4 to 6 in a room. And are there communal areas, too, that they can go walk around and tranquil garden type atmosphere?
We're set up sort of like a bed and breakfast for those of you who might have stayed in one. Upstairs there are all the private bedrooms, but there are 3 different computer rooms, there are different laundry rooms, there are 6 different TV lounges so they can watch different shows, not argue about the clicker. And then of course there's a beautiful outside garden. When they've been in the hospital all day and the weather is good, they all want a chance to get outdoors.
Now the laundry, is that done individually by the families, Lauren, or is there a service?
Yes, no, we have washer and dryers on every floor of the house where the families reside, and we actually have families and outside donors donate laundry detergent. They donate any type of household item you can think of, from dish soap to any type of paper towel or paper product. But the laundry detergent is for the families to use. We have them treat it like it's their own house, and so
and you do it yourself, though. I mean,
yeah,
the family will
absolutely.
do the laundry themselves.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just like their house.
And the food, we started talking about that you have community groups come in, but what about other times of the day? So how many meals, Teddy, are involved?
Well, we do dinner every night of the year, and we do breakfast on the weekends. And then sometimes during the week, we'll do a breakfast or a lunch. But there is food in the pantries and in the house refrigerators.
Families can make their own?
They can make their own anytime. And even if they don't enjoy whatever was being served, because it's not Thanksgiving every night. It may be chili and cornbread one night, and it may be meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans the next night. It may be tacos the next night. So it's a good variety.
Midnight snacks are allowed?
Midnight snacks are allowed, and there's always peanut butter and jelly.
And now, Lauren, do you charge for this at all?
No. Well, we ask the families to contribute $15 a day to stay at the house. It's considered a donation. However, for many families, it's just too too much at the point where some of them have gone down to one income, some of them have gone down to no income just to be by their child's side. So about 70% of the time they can contribute, which is where fundraising really comes into play.
Teddy, how does it make you feel working at Ronald McDonald House?
I wouldn't still be there 30 years later if it didn't make my day every day. I really like people, so I get to meet donors and volunteers and families every day. And I also go home feeling good because somebody smiled, somebody's day was a little bit better because of all the things that, and all the people we were able to bring together to provide this so that they're not just standing in the hospital.
Lauren, you're newer at the organization.
Yes.
You've been there a couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you feel compared to other places you've worked?
Oh, well, as a mother, I can say firsthand that, you know, having a healthy child is something that, you know, you hope and you pray for. And when I'm around families and children who are going through really stressful times, I recognize how grateful I am to have a healthy child, and at the same time, happy to be able to be there and give back to people who need it. So it means a lot.
And there's a staff and there's a board of directors, obviously, with the Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey. Describe the staff.
We have a staff of only 7. So there are really 3 who run the programs. There's the resident manager who lives there overnight with the families, so there's always someone there for them to turn to 24 hours a day, and the day manager. And then we do have other locations called family rooms that we haven't covered. And then we have 3 of us on the fundraising side, the special event manager, Lauren, and myself, and then just an admin and a bookkeeper. And everyone else, the other 750 people who make the world go around every day, are volunteers,
Wow.
whether they're driving or cooking or providing an activity.
Well, we'll have more on that, more on what goes on at the Ronald McDonald House and the big opportunity to help in a moment on PHL17. And InFocus continues on PHL17 with Teddy Thomas and Lauren White of the Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey. Teddy, we haven't talked about misconceptions at all. I mean, Ronald McDonald House, let's be honest, first thing people think about is the clown, right?
Right,
And
the guy
McDonald's.
with red hair and red shoes.
Yeah, so what misconceptions do you find?
Probably the largest, or the most significant one is many people think that McDonald's pays for everything. And they don't understand how much fundraising we actually have to do. McDonald's is a wonderful partner. They're our namesake, and they are our most significant partner. Their goal in the United States is to have their local owner-operators raise at least 10% of our budget, and they do. They're wonderful. But that means the other 90% is contributed by the community, both in corporate sponsorships, in many individual gifts, and then some foundation grants.
And one other misconception might be that you serve hamburgers every night. That's
We would all get tired of hamburgers every night, but they're a great fill-in. No, unfortunately, McDonald's does not provide our food. We do depend on our community family meals program, where anyone from a family to a company to a scout troop can sign up to cook dinner for our families.
And there's a couple of reasons why obviously people should support Ronald McDonald House at the core, and that is the great service you provide to the families and those children. But there's also a need that goes beyond what you can provide. Do you have people that can't get in, so to speak?
Yes, yes. We actually have a wait list every day of the week. We have 100% occupancy. This just goes to show you how amazing our hospitals are in this area, that people from all over the United States, every state, and 31 different countries have stayed at our house in the past 30 years.
So you want to expand?
Yes. In fact, the gala is the purpose of raising those funds to continue to advance and expand the mission. We're hoping to add 3 additional bedrooms out of the 22 to increase the number of stays for families in a year.
And let's show again what Lauren just talked about, the information on the birthday ball. It's the 30th birthday ball, Saturday, October 12th. It'll be at the Borgata, starts around 7 p.m., goes to 11 p.m. Lots of entertainment, lots of great food. You can find out all about it by going to ronaldhouse-snj.org. That's ronaldhouse-snj.org. And I guess when you go home at night, you feel like you're lucky to be associated with something that's really helping children and helping families.
Yes, I mean, it's the children that I get to see every day. My office is in the house, so every morning I walk through, I get to see kids eating breakfast and just starting their day, and then at night I get to say, you know, see you tomorrow and come back and do it again. And I always tell my daughter, Mommy's going to help the kids, and you know, it feels really good.
And there's a stress that comes with that too, though, which is you can never raise enough money, and you want to keep raising money so that you can serve those families and those children. Teddy, you've been doing that for a long time.
A long time, and my children grew up sort of coming to the Ronald House often. And in fact, we'd never had a doctor in the family, and 2 of my children are involved in medicine, so obviously it rubbed off, but it is a wonderful feeling. And in addition to the house, we do have the opportunity to have 11 family rooms in hospitals all across South Jersey. So they're not the full house. People don't stay overnight in them, but they're on the pediatric floor where their child is in a hospital bed. And it's a comfortable place to go to not whisper at the foot of their bed, or to get a cup of coffee and a bowl of soup while they're gone for a test or while they're taking a nap, to give those parents a little break, even though they don't need to stay overnight. They can go home from there.
Roughly how many hospitals?
There are 11 rooms in 8 hospitals. So we're in Atlantic Care, Shore Medical, Virtua in Voorhees and Mount Holly, Kennedy, Capital Health in Trenton, and down in Spira, which used to be South Jersey Hospital.
Well, thank you both for what you do every day. Thank you very much, and good luck
Thank
with
you.
the 30th birthday ball as well.
you.
You deserve it.
Thank you so much.
And we'll talk to you again.
Thank
And that's
you.
In Focus for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Steve Highsmith. Enjoy your weekend and have a great week ahead.